Hello and welcome to another day of an album a day, going through my vinyl collection. Today I have selected an album that's a little more rare, a little harder to find, and I'm very excited to have it on vinyl. Actually, it sounds absolutely fantastic. This is Chick Corea and the Electric Band Inside Out, and this one is, this was my introduction to jazz fusion. My friend Travis got me a copy of this when I had gotten him a copy of a Patrick O'Hearn album to help him with his studies. He thought I might enjoy this because the drumming is spectacular, and I certainly did. And then when I was roommates with Scott Davies in Denver, we used to sit and listen to this and you know, kind of learn all the parts. And I remember spending a good couple of hours one afternoon trying to figure out the time signature of one of the last pieces on the album, because it just didn't feel right, and we were trying to figure it out. Finally, we got it. Lots of fun. But anyway, there is only one pressing of this album, and it was in 1990 in the US. It's actually pressed. It's funny because it's actually pressed in, where is this? Blah, blah. Argentina? Switzerland. You know, the other Argentina. Very tiny print. Anyway, very cool album, really exciting stuff. When we were opening the last Pro Sound store in, this would be in Littleton, Colorado, the night that we were doing the grand opening, one of the reps came to me and said, "Hey, do you mind letting somebody in the back door?" And I'm like, "Well, sure, you know, I trust the reps." And, you know, a bunch of people were crowded around there, and he lets this guy in. I didn't really see who it was. And my drum guy taps me on the shoulder. He goes, "That was Dave Weckl." And I said, "No, it wasn't." He goes, "No, I'm telling you, that was Dave Weckl." And I said, "Look, I'm the operations manager. If Dave Weckl was coming to the store, I certainly would know about it, wouldn't I?" And he goes, "I'm telling you, that was Dave Weckl." Well, whoever this guy was, they whisked him up to the office, and then the manager came out and goes, "So Dave Weckl's here." And I thought that was really cool. So after the grand opening was over, Dave was so cool. He was playing in Boulder the next night. He agreed to come out a day early to do you know, an autograph signing at our grand opening. And it was, I mean, it was just a crazy night. And I was already exhausted from getting the like $1.8 million in inventory or whatever it was together. And anyway, got some time to chat with him before he headed back to his hotel. And I said, "I just have a question for you." I said, "I've seen the sheet music to Inside Out, and it's basically just, I mean, it's almost solid black. There's so many notes." And I said, "I heard that you guys wrote and recorded that in 2 weeks." And he smiled and he laughed. He goes, "No, it was less." Now, at the time, that absolutely blew me away. But I've come to understand a lot more about jazz and this kind of music and how it works, especially in my time in Vegas, having seen some live jazz and jazz fusion stuff. And I understand how that was done now. But still, I mean, this is a pretty spectacular album. There's a lot going on in these songs. But we're also talking about top-notch musicians. I mean, you've got Chick Corea on piano and synth. You've got Dave Weckl on, you know, drums. You've got John Patitucci on bass. You've got Eric Marienthal on saxophone. And, of course, Frank Gambale on guitar. These are top musicians, and definitely skilled in this arena of improv and knowing where you're at in a song and being able to just kind of go off on a solo here and there and know where to come back amidst this insanity. And it's pretty amazing when you really kind of check out, okay, so here's a solo section for Chick and everybody else backs him up. Then it's a little bit of John Patitucci and everyone else backs him up, and then Dave. And it's really amazing how they work these parts out, but there's always parts where they come together and just kind of like reset for the next soloist or whatever. Anyway, great album, absolutely fantastic. There's another one that I have that I'll get to a little bit later. We'll be reviewing this on the Haskincast podcast at some point. Not sure exactly when I'll get to it, but fantastic album, Chick Corea and the Electric Band, Inside Out. See you guys tomorrow.